Great information. Don't be a rush in the next few days. Yeah, it's totally, and how I look at it, if we know the date, then everybody tell people ahead of time.
I'm getting started about 5 minutes late tonight. It's 6:05.
Yeah, but
I'll call
yourself.
the full board of county commissioners meeting for August order, August 19th at 6:05 p.m. At this time, Shannon Winters is going to give our emergency.
Evening, everyone. First, annual tonight's council meeting, commission meeting. Just a few tidbits of information. Restrooms are located right down the hall. They are ADA accessible. In the event of a cardiac emergency, we have AEDs located on both the first and second floor at the elevators. And in the event of an emergency, we have to evacuate this room. We ask that you calmly proceed down the ramp to the front steps. Go down the steps and exit, and the congregation point is in the rear of the courthouse, and we'll all meet back there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Winters. We appreciate you. Commissioners, will you please sign in for our clerk? We do have a few out tonight for various reasons, everything from family, health to business, whatever. So we have plenty enough for a quorum. If you'll look over your agenda, let me know if you're ready to pass it or if we need omissions or deletions.
Did you sign into the? I had to do that every time.
How do you feel? You're good, yeah. No good profit.
Hey, you're here.
All right, so remember, we're down to 23 commissioners right now. We have 18 present and 5 absent. We do have enough for a quorum. I just, okay. My screen just looks different.
New software.
Okay, all right, I'm seeing it now. So we do have a motion to approve the agenda from Todd Smith and a second by Angie Oda. Is there any discussion needed? All right, please vote on the agenda.
Campbell?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We're gonna go into prayer and pledge of allegiance time. Prayer is led by Commissioner Willie Campbell, and the pledge of allegiance will be led by Commissioner Brad Johnson. Thank you.
Gracious Heavenly Father, God, Lord, once again, Lord, to bow our heads and thank you for this glorious day, Lord, for forgiveness. Lord, we thank you for our health and our strength, God, that you provide for each one of us through your grace. God, tonight we do pray know there's a lot out here tonight, Lord, for unknown reasons. God, we pray, Lord, that you bless them, Lord, whatever the problem may be. God, we do thank you for each one together in this building, Lord. Your anointing be upon them. God, most of all, we thank you for your son, Jesus, who came to give his life. Lord, we could have life and have it more abundant. On one day that we could go to heaven to be with you. Lord, tonight we do pray, God, and know as you're standing on the right hand of the Father, making intercession for each and every one of us, God. Lord, tonight we thank you for your love, mercy, and grace that you have on each one of them, God. We ask your blessings on this. We ask in thy name. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Will our elected and appointed officials and guests please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service. Look over the minutes from our July meeting. The floor is open for a motion to approve those. Motion made by Danny Deal, second by Gary Kim. Does anyone see any changes that need to be made to this document? Please vote on the minutes from July. Campbell?
Yes.
Motion passes. The clerk's office will now read the names of those seeking notaries and bonds.
Adam Johnson, Austin M. James, Anthony Johnson, Dale Hall, Judy Summerly, Laura Mannion, Michaela Brummett, Michael Mims, Michelle Burnham, Ryan Johnson, Tammy Buchanan, John Kevin Shell, Kenneth Mondell, Cheryl Rupp, Christy Norris Johnson, Brenda Penix, Rebecca M. Potter, Michelle Melton, Angela Kaiser, Tanya K. Jeffries, Pamela A. Yarberry, Connie E. Harrell, Pamela J. Hutchins, Debbie C. Aaron, Smith Sharon, and Jason Lee Hampton.
Who was that last one?
Jason Lee Hamrick, he's not on there.
Motion to approve those names that were read by Aaron Frazier, second by Angie Odom. Any discussion? Please vote.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
I'm a yes, I just can't get it to.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. We will have our attorney, Joshua Harden, read a proclamation that comes from Mayor Woodby. She is not with us tonight, she's in Nashville, but this is to recognize our farmers market, what a success it is. Ms. Donica Krebs is here this evening to accept this. Would you like to come on up? We'll stand together while Attorney Harden reads this.
This is a proclamation that says Carter County, Tennessee Farmers Market Week. Whereas Carter County farmers and ranchers provide citizens with access to healthful, locally and regionally produced foods, markets which are expanding and evolving to accommodate the demand for a diverse array of agricultural products. Whereas farmers markets and other agricultural direct marketing outlets provide the infrastructure to assist in the distribution of farm and value-added products, thereby contributing approximately $9 billion each year to the U.S. economy. Whereas farmers markets serve as significant outlets by which small to medium, new and beginning, and veteran agricultural producers market agricultural products, generate revenue that supports the sustainability of family farms and the revitalization of rural communities nationwide. Whereas the Carter County Mayor recognizes the importance of expanding agricultural marketing opportunities that assist and encourage the next generation of farmers and ranchers, generate farm income to help stimulate business development and job creation, build community connections through rural and urban linkages, and more. Now, therefore, to further awareness of farmers markets' contributions to Carter County life, I, Patty Woodby, Mayor of Carter County, hereby proclaim the week of August 4th through 10th, 2024 as Carter County Farmers Market Week in conjunction with the observance of National Farmers Market Week. I call upon Carter County citizens to celebrate farmers markets with appropriate observances and activities. I think they have August 2024.
Thank you, Donica, for being in charge of this little project. Where do you want to start? Okay.
Please smile.
So if you haven't visited our farmer's market, I would encourage you to do so. It's packed every Tuesday afternoon. Great.
Commissioner Holman, I'd like to say I've never seen a program build this fast and grow this fast. It really is amazing.
It is. It's almost like a carnival or a covered bridge days. It's so crowded around there at that time. You can hardly find a place to park.
Lots of good food too.
Yes. Yes. So thank you, Vice Chair Collins. It's time for public comment. So if anyone is here this evening to speak to the commission, you have 5 minutes. We ask that you come forward through. We now have a real opening. I don't know where our other door is. Come through the door and to the podium and state your name and address and then begin speaking.
The podium's a little tall for me. My name is Jim Winchester. I live at 273 C Grindstaff Road, which is adjacent to the Evening Breeze Arena. I'm coming to tell you something that you should be aware of, but unfortunately, you've never been advised of it by the city of Elizabethton, which is the Elizabethton Electric Department, as you know, has had a rental lighting program for a long, long time. Well, they have decided that they're going to take out all the existing fixtures and replace them with LED fixtures. As a former public official like yourselves, I sort of feel that they should consult with you about what they're going to do before they illuminate all of rural Carter County. But you didn't know anything about this, but I discovered it, and we've been in a battle with the electric department over this fixture that they have selected. I have some expertise in public lighting and public policy, and a lot has changed. We all remember the incandescent bulbs. They weren't that bright. Now you get a 7-watt LED bulb and you get, I don't know, 1,000 lumens, which is very bright indeed. So these old fixtures use what's called the lens, the drop lens. You'll see them all over Elizabethton. They're old, they've been obsolete for a decade or so. So the city's replacing them in the town, and that's not my concern. So they decide they're going to put an LED fixture up to replace all of the fixtures. And I've been in discussion with the management of the electric department for 4 months about what they're doing and the disastrous selection that they have made. And I'm going to tell you right now why it's a disaster. If my right hand, Tony, will hand me this fixture. This is a modern LED fixture that you see in a lot of commercial places. The lighting element is recessed so that when it's horizontal, you don't see the lighting element at all. You don't see the bulb. All you see is what is being illuminated. And this is standard in all LED fixtures that you'll commonly see, and that includes street lights, okay? The old street lights had what's called a drop lens feature. What that meant is the bulb projected below the fixture and you got in your face glare, the sideways glare from that fixture, okay? Most people know that's pretty obnoxious, and the brighter the light is, the worse it is. Well, the DOT limit for high beam headlights is 3,000 lumens. You've all driving in the face of those, how bright they are. The new fixture is 10,000 lumens. It's going to come to a pole everywhere you are, okay? That's stadium grade lighting. But it's worse. They put a drop lens on this fixture so that it's a horizontal lighting. It's not vertical, it's dispersed 360 degrees. The first one that I actually saw up close and personal, the electric department put in the Evening Breeze Arena. That arena is 300 yards from our house, and it put shadows on our garage doors when we're out there like it was pointed directly at us. I call it the lighthouse because you can see it for miles. Some of you may have seen these odd lights popped up, but they're rare. The reason I'm here is because I'm making no headway. Danny Dean has been helping with me. We're trying to get him with the mayor. He's not real eager to talk about this so far. But you need to get ahead of this because as far as I'm concerned, they're going to increment this. They're going to spread it around here and get enough of them that you're going to have to be playing catch up to say, wait, we don't like this fixture. Let's get together and see if we can come up with something that's compatible for our rural lifestyle. So I'm here to tell you, there's a problem developing here, and I hope you'll form a committee and maybe have a conversation with the mayor about why you weren't consulted in the first place, but also how you can make lemonade out of this situation. There are many, many light fixtures such as this that could be used. Why they haven't picked this fixture is baffling to me, and only the manager can tell you why he did that. But it's a horrible fixture. And if anybody wants to go out to the Evening Breeze Arena, well, Danny can tell you all about what it looks like. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. When were you able to get his name? Will you repeat your name, please, for our minutes?
Your name.
Jim Winchester.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sorry we had to ask you to do that.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening?
Good evening, my name is Tony Winchester, and I also live at 273 C. Grindstaff Road. One of the things that brought us to Carter County is the rural lifestyle, being out of the city, kind of being in the country. Well, to me, that means I get to enjoy my evening sky at night. Well, we're seeing these lights pop up, and I tell you what, it is destroying our rural nightlife. We have spent thousands of dollars planting trees at the back of our property to block some of these street lights that are popping up. And I do get the Evening Breeze. It's a business. They need to have light. But when their light was replaced, I cannot tell you how the shadows appear on my garage door. The light shines in my bedroom window at that end of my house. And if you go to the other end of my house, you can see a shadow of my house on my land. That light is so bright. There's a house across the street, kind of kitty corner to us, about 250 yards away. They have two of these lights on either side of their house. And in the wintertime, when the leaves fall, again, I've got shadows all over the front of my house, on my driveway. My front door is glass. And I have light coming in my front door. So it's been real discouraging to have this light pollution. And it seems like the people who have the lights have all the rights. The people who are impacted by the lights, who don't want the lights, have no rights. And we brought this up with the electric company 4 years ago. We talked with Brandon about 3 months ago. We talked to other entities. And my hat goes off to Danny Deal. He came over to our house after 9 p.m. He looked at the lights, he saw the lights that we were talking about. So I appreciate your interest in our concern. But these lights are only going to get worse, and when people move out to areas like this, they don't want to be around the city lights. It's nice to be in a dark environment. And why the electric company has a policy to provide light and security for residents, I don't understand. But these lights are just very intrusive on our property, and we would certainly appreciate your consideration. You could be the first county in Tennessee that has adopted the night sky. I mean, that's a big deal for people who come from big cities, who want to get away from that, and we see a lot of people moving to Tennessee. That can be a real attraction to them to have the night sky concept. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Winchester.
Let's go. Shoot him out of this thing.
My name's David Michael Melton, 1778 Sylvan Hill Road, Elizabethton. I am the 8th District Representative on the Carter County Parks and Recreation Board, and a 74-year citizen of Elizabethton and Carter County. I'm in my 9th year on the Parks and Recreation Board. I'd like to serve many more years because this board can do really good things in our community. Most good things we do don't take a lot of money, like promoting our wonderful resources and the people, especially our kids that play. We want to sponsor a spelling bee with our school kids. We want to build small parks in the county and have a community group in the area to manage and maintain their park. We have larger projects like Gap Creek Park. I brought that property to the table in late 2016. In 2017, Charlie Mattioli and I, along with Chris Shugler, spoke in favor of buying this property for a community park. And the commission voted that night 22-2 to buy the land. We planned and worked years only to have the Gap Creek Park project taken out of our hands. Carter County Parks and Recreation Board should be over the Gap Creek Park project. We started it and we'll finish it. I hated the 26-acre T-Dot property in Happy Valley for 3 years. And one person, the chairman of the Building and Grounds, decided it would be a waste of money to buy that property. That property would have been a perfect community park with ball fields and whatever the community might want. And it would have been full of history. That the Taylor Civil War Cemetery is there. Carter County's first sheriff is there. I think that property is still a possibility. There's nothing going on out there. And the Carter County Parks and Recreation Board named and planned Town Trail Park in Valley Forge. Our board should be over that park. My thoughts on Tunnel Trail Park differ from Ken Gooch and Wesley Bradley and Aaron Fraser. I think this stretch of Twitchy Trail should be a family park. No bicycles. Bicycles are a hazard around people, children, and elderly. But bicyclists would have to ride up the highway from the electric system to Valley Forge, come out in Hampton, and back on the highway to the Hampton Watershed Trail. Bicyclists don't have license to be on the highway for good reason. It's very dangerous. Bicyclists can ride on the continuous trails, like from Elizabethton to Johnson City, and they can ride the trails to the Hampton Watershed where it's off-road. You know that the Hampton Watershed Trails is a city project on city property. And Tunnel Trail is a county project. And our board should continue working and planning the Tunnel Trail in Valley Forge and let the city build their park.
County Commissioner Aaron Frazier became Carter County Parks and Recreation Board Chairman August 2022. And by design, bring down our board, we are now in maintenance mode. Aaron, Ken Gooch, our mayor and county attorney, don't want the board anymore. They want the Carter County Parks and Recreation Department. I think that would be a mistake to have a department in the county and the city. They'll become rivals. The Carter County Parks and Recreation Board is set up to work the county and some projects work together with the city. I have been the county board liaison to the city for the last 4 years, and I know that the city Parks and Rec Board, they want Gat Creek Park. So we need to finish Gat Creek Park with the help of our planning department, then deed the property to the city, and they will manage and maintain the park. That will go better. It will be the Elizabeth and Carter County Gat Creek Park, and together we will present the park to the community. This is the way Carter County and Elizabeth Parks and Recreation should serve our community. Madam Chairman, take Aaron Frazier off the Carter County Parks and Recreation Board and let us continue serving Carter County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Melvin.
Evening, Commissioners. My name is James Bird. I'm cousin to Dry Creek Road, Elizabeth. I haven't been here in a while. The reason I haven't been is back in March, as you guys remember, the mayor stated that the public could not address her. That YouTube video has been viewed thousands of times. And I've been contacted by several civil rights attorneys who want to take that case to bring the mayor to court. At this time, I don't think we should further embarrass our county by doing that. Part of me wants to, but I'm proud of this county and I love this county, and I don't want to bring that to the forefront of the news. So at this point, that's not what I'm going to do. I would like for the mayor to clarify why the citizens cannot address her. I know she's not here tonight. Shortly after, in a committee meeting, one of the commissioners said that public comments were basically held to belittle the commissioners and the mayor. I want to make sure I understood the definition of belittle. Belittle means to make someone feel less important. That's never been my intent. My intent is to come here, as you know, I mostly talk about ballot and about what a poor system it is and how people are suffering because of ballot's decision to merge and the people who allowed ballot to happen. So I never meant to make someone feel less important. I don't think that's what we did, or I did. And just the opposite, I believe some people feel self-important. And to be honest with you, there was a time in my life I felt self-important. I progressed through the system pretty quickly. Within a couple of years, I was surgical team leader on the transplant team. This was in a major city, I won't say where. But something changed me. And what that was I got called to the emergency department one day for a death of a child, a young infant. And the mother is holding the deceased baby. She says, I want to transplant something for my child. I want something good to come from this. And at that point, I realized this wasn't about me. This was about the position I'm in, and I should use that position to help people. It's not about the money I make or the title I have. It's about my ability to help people because I'm in this position. And I hope the mayor will recognize that at some point, because that's what her position is about. And it took an event like that for me to understand that, because I was young, and, you know, as we're young, we're not very bright at times. And it went to my head. But after that point, I realized what my role and what my position should be was to help people, solely help people. And that's what I've done for the last 30 years until I retired recently. You know, so let's talk about ballot real quick. There are 4 key people in ballot that made ballot happen. Brian Nolan at GSU, Scott Niswanger in Greenville, Alan Levine, obviously the CEO, $4 million man who runs Ballot, and the architect of the whole thing, Rusty Crowe. Well, when the ballot resolution failed here, remember, originally, everybody wanted the resolution. It was unanimous. Every single person here voted to do it. But it's my understanding the mayor lobbied a bunch of people, just enough to where the vote didn't go through, to where the ballot resolution failed. People's voice about our problems with ballot was silenced. And it's my understanding the mayor lobbied people not to vote for the resolution. Well, there's a Latin term called quid pro quo. That means you do something for me, I do something for you. So what is coming down the road? That's what happened for some of you that voted against the resolution and for the mayor who lobbied against the resolution. So what does Rusty and Levine, Nolan, and Niswanger have in mind to help those that helped him? Because I have a feeling it's coming. We don't know what it is. You see, Alan Levine thinks we're a bunch of hillbilly, poor folk that are just, undereducated. He's wrong. There's a lot of good people that live here. And that's the reason people come to public comments, is to try to give advice and try to give reasons of why they're here, and they're legitimate for the most part. But the quid pro quo, if it's for your own advancement, it should never happen. What should happen is ballot should serve the people. They don't serve the people. They serve Alan Levine and those 4 key people. That's who they serve. And my question is, how much longer are people going to step over the dead bodies that ballot causes, step over them, bow down to Alan Levine and Ballot Health, and allow this to continue to happen? And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Anyone else want to take the podium tonight? Okay, thank you to all of our citizens who came. Thank you for your courage and interest in what goes on in our county. We will have our next director, Ms. Carolyn Watson, speaking anything she wants to do financially.
The financials are in your packet. They are the new format. They are marked draft as well. These are for June. However, June is our closing month, so those are not complete yet. We are still in the process of doing our year-end closing and reconciliations. But we did want you to note the new format. Hopefully those are a little easier to read. Make a little more sense to you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact one of us. We'll be happy to talk you through anything you need. Also, the report for financial management and budget are in your packets, and if you have any questions about those, contact us as well.
Thank you. In case anybody's wondering, I can't see anybody for the TV screens, so I'm having to watch them on the TV. But I am watching and listening, I promise. Mr. Mark Rodings, our Director of Communications, will you come forward, please?
Evening. I know you have in your, I don't know if you have it in this packet, you may have had it in the previous packet. There was a change order issued with Motorola. That particular change order was brought to my attention that there was a misstep in there. We needed a proposal that had pulled out several portable radios, and I didn't get that done. I'm working on that with Motorola, so as soon as I get that done, I'll get it back over to the Financial Management Committee. And the mayor and myself also had a sit down earlier today, first thing this morning. Motorola is hesitant to make that change right away. Part of that is because of the other grant, we don't have it awarded. Because if we don't get that grant for some reason, then it leaves us on the hook for paying for all those portable radios that we took out of our pocket. We won't have a funding source for those at that point. So they're willing to do it, they just would like to prefer to see an awarded grant, have the award in hand before we actually make that move. With that, I guess, I don't know if there was any questions on this particular proposal that you had in there, that any numbers or anything that you had questions with. I know on one of the pages, it shows that the new contract price is over $6 million, but that does not take into account, on 2 pages over, it does not take into account the TAC contribution. So if you subtract that TAC contribution on it, it comes down to 4,982,518. And that's where that particular proposal is at right now. So I don't know if you had any questions about that, or anything within that particular proposal.
Aaron Fraser, you have the floor.
Did you get a clarification on the asterisk? There is an asterisk next to the purchase order amount. And then it says that the PO would have to be for the 1.5 or whatever, and then below it, then it has the TAC and grant, then it has the final amount there. Did you get a clarification on that asterisk that's shown in there? I think I've mentioned it to Attorney Harden. It's on the final bill sheet. 1 second. Yeah, indicates the amount of PO required. And on the sheet in the packet that we had, it was next to the it's next to the 1.5 million, not next to the 472,000. Which is, I mean, it's fine if it's going to be, they're going to put the cash into the county and then the PO is for the full amount and then it goes back out. But I'm just curious how that's going to be, how that grant, the TAC and grant is going to be administered and that sort of thing.
Okay. The TAC and grant, from my understanding, I also spoke with Director Gray and also spoke with Motorola. And the way the TAC and grant works is once we reach the project and we get the project installed, then that grant is actually written in a check and sent to us after the project is fully implemented and accepted as completed.
Okay, so it would basically be once everything is done, we've written the PO for 1.5 whatever million, then the grant comes in and then we would just pay out of that grant first before we had to put any skin in the game for the last 472,000.
Well, the 472,000 is actually a final increase to Carter County. The 1,089,864, that's the TAC and grant, the total TAC and grant for us. And that total TAC and grant will actually be written at full acceptance of the system once we install it.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is the footnote there that says indicates amount of PO required. And that star is next to the 1.56246 number. It's also next to the negative 2,833,000 number as well. So, the contract execution, it's in there a couple of times. So
I see it there. Yes, the total amount, I'll have to ask. Now I'm confused too.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That was kind of what I was getting at.
But I don't want to guess.
Yeah,
I'll ask.
I have a guess as well. And if the grant funding is coming into the county, then that would be appropriate because we're going to be giving them their money back in the long run. And that gives us the option to pay it out of that grant before we have to put skin in the game on that particular change order, because the total amount of the change order is $1.5 million.
Right.
we would only be fronting a new cash for the 472,000.
I will check on that, and I will, in my conversations with Motorola here in the near future, I'll ask that and get that clarified.
Thank you, sir.
Am I getting that?
Julie Collins.
When is the grant gonna be awarded? What's the timeline there? Know that?
We're thinking it's gonna be October, probably first or second week of October.
That's good. I thought it was later than that. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson.
Director Redding, my concern and question is, you just stated that the tacking grant would be given near the completion. And so far today, through financial management, through budget, we have been able to determine or define the funds we have that's going to be in addition to what was granted by ARP money. So now that means that's going to have to go back through the system to be able to see if we can come up with the funds, because we can't obligate if we don't have the funds to cover it. And right now we're obligating, or what we have passed so far is the amount of money difference between the Motorola, their tacking grant, and then what's left over is our responsibility, which was $400,000, $400,000, like it was. That's not working. We hadn't obligated, we don't have that kind of obligate ourselves up front. So I know you say, and I'm not killing the messenger, but to say, it'll come near the end. Well, if it's done, what happens? We don't have the funds to do that.
Dr. Acuff.
Yeah, I'm tag on with Commissioner Johnson. Mark, I got a real conundrum here. You went back, had an assistance from financial management and some comments by the chair to draw Motorola to it. And you did that, and we thank you. My problem is whether we have the funds to cover this or not, why didn't Motorola step up to the plate, remove what you asked them to remove in terms of radios from this grant? That is incumbent on us, and if we don't get the grants, shame on us. But I can tell you right now, unless we can get some cooperation from them, I will not vote for this.
Amen.
I think there are just too many questions. They're not you. Motorola drags their feet. You ask them to perform several things. They've done a couple of those. But this really reaches the high water mark for me. When you ask them to pull those radios out that we will pay for from another grant, and essentially they refused. I got a problem. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank all of you. And Director Ronings,
Yes.
you and I spoke right before the meeting. We mentioned some dates. I don't think you
Okay.
mentioned those.
I did find out a solid set of dates on the ARP funding. And we have December 31st of 2024 to allocate all funds, which means put them under contract. So we need to get them under contract before December 31st of this year. And we have 2 full years to spend that money and finish the system. So it'll be December 31st of 2026 is at the paid out by that day.
Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have to have, of course, we know in financial management that we have to have it obligated according to the ARP guidelines by that date. This county has been jerked around them now since 2022. You're aware of that, you're present. And to come in we went through the notification in financial management that the First Tennessee Development District
which is the one who issued the grant for 124,000, wasn't it? 125,000 for communications for them to present to the fire department or whatever, which reflects the amount of handhelds or the electronic equipment that was in total. And then prior to that, in your statement is they're going to be, they are going to take some time to be able to give you an up-to-date proposal for the contract with the exclusion of those, correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, you got, think about it, the calendar, here we are in August,
I understand.
okay? And that means it has to go back through the wicket. And what they're doing is trying to put pressure on myself, given their thought, I think, and I may make it myself, but, they should be a motion to cast them right out the door. They are not the only ones that has Motorola. We can't get their attention and they're dragging their feet on a multi-million-dollar, which is now 2.5 years old, just trying, and you've tried yourself, to get a proper proposal for our emergency services in the county. I mean, that's ludicrous, really.
I have spoken with Motorola and I did voice that concern as well.
Well, evidently, they don't fear it, so,
Their thoughts are they can do that. It just takes a call back into their financial management people within Motorola. And they should be able to move that out without any problems. They didn't see any problem with us actually doing that, pulling it out. That was the only thing
Well, it kind of puts us in a predicament where, like I stated, possibly a motion to just go ahead and exclude them, disqualify them from even providing or bidding on it, which we can do as a legislative body. But if we do that, look what we have. We have between now and December 31st to put out specifications. We go through the bidding process. I mean, that's over a barrel. And it's all by you can say it's by their design. They've laid the map, the work since, what was that, July 22, I believe it was. But the problem is with the motion is you say, exclude them. I'll come out. Well, I don't want to specifically to lose that multi-million-dollar grant because we can't meet their deadline when we took action 2 years ago. I mean, there's no reflection on you. I don't want you to feel that way whatsoever. You're the director, so we're going to beat you up, But it's a lot to think about because I'm going to say it was hard for them in the financial management side of the house and the budget side of the house. We knew without a shadow of doubt that we were going to go over. And I'm sure everybody was aware too, because just the price escalation on everything in this United States since COVID, rates and everything has went tremendously high. And our proposal from them was in 2022, and it hadn't been updated. Now, when the update comes, how much have you had to spend with them on the phone and say, hey, Chicken Little, the skies are falling. We need these numbers. And what kind of put-offs have you had?
Mr. Rawlings, I'll speak as the commissioner, not the chairman at this moment, but I'll say that I'm disappointed that they made 2 or more trips up here, several people present in this room when we were awarding them the bid, and we haven't seen them since. So that's just a comment.
Well, Madam Chair, really, we have not awarded the bid. Because see, the specifications and the bid process in 2022 was ruled disqualified because it was written for a prioritized spec, which is according to CFR, is illegal. You have to write your specification, and there's multiple manufacturers can meet that specification. And they did, when the ones that came in with their bids in July 22, they had their bid, present. And here, and then during, I'm gonna say public comment, but they were recognized from the bench to the floor. And they more or less have taken over. And that's where we said, it's why the question came up last month, who's gonna write the spec? And you said, you're the one to be familiar and write specifications. I know how hard it is, but I don't know your profession. So I don't, you cut and paste, or whether you're gonna long hand it, or whether you're gonna go to the federal side of the house and borrow theirs and cut and paste it, but the timeframe's what I'm concerned about.
Commissioner Wynn.
This would be more directed, Attorney Josh Harden. Is there any way that we can get an extension on that grant? To extend the time period, do we have to?
Are you talking about the ARP funds? I'm not aware of that. I mean, it may be possible, but I'm not aware of that. I'm not sure if any other county or maybe the finance director knows of other counties that have asked to extend, but I'm not aware of that.
I'm very much like Dr. A. Cuff. I'm very disappointed in this Motorola people. I spent 8 years in the Army, and I thought it was a long time getting things done in there. But we went to commercial radios in my unit in the Army, and we had some done in 6 months. That was procurement and installation and everything.
I'm not taking it from Motorola anyway, but I will remind you the federal government is involved in this as well. And the whole project hinges on a tower that the federal government still hasn't approved, correct? In all this time. So we could have paid Motorola in full 2 years ago, and we still couldn't do it because we don't have the tower, and that's the federal government.
Okay, if there are no other questions directed to Mr. Riding, we'll let him sit down. All right, thank you, Director Ridings.
Thank you.
On our agenda next, item 14 is an appointment to fill the vacancy for the 5th District County Commissioner until the next general election. In your packet, you saw an application from Charlene Thomas. She has filed papers to be on the general election in November. As far as I know, she's the only one that has done so. I'm the one who told Gwen the day that I wanted the applications to come in by. I'm the one who told Gwen that we would choose this person tonight. But of course, you are the body. You can make a change to those plans if you so desire. Okay, then I'm gonna open the floor for nominations.
Madam Chair, I nominate Charlene Thomas to fill the 5th District position. It has been vacated by Weatherwater.
I'll second.
Madam Chair, would that name be repeated, please?
Charlene Thomas. Is there any other nomination? We do have a request to speak from Aaron Frazier. Please go ahead.
I'd make a friendly amendment that we cease nominations and elect by acclamation.
Okay.
If there's no other nominations.
Okay, before we vote, I would like to give Ms. Thomas an opportunity to come forward and speak if she so chooses.
Good evening to you all. When individuals run for office, the first question they're always asked, why? They always say, I want to make a difference. I've had a very short time to think about this, but I want to give you my top 5 reasons for attempting to hold this position. First and foremost, I love politics. Call me crazy, but I do. I always have. I've always wanted to be involved in government. I want to know how it all works. I want to know the people. I watch the speeches. I've just always done that. I presently am on the executive board for the Washington County Federated Republican Women, and I hold a position on the state board of the Tennessee Federation of Republican Women. I love politics. Secondly, I love people. I have loved my new neighborhood. I love my new neighbors. And I know that from having taught at Milligan for 37 years, a lot of my friends from Milligan live in the 5th District. So it made me sad to think that they may not have that 3rd representative on this commission. Third reason, I like challenges and I like learning. If you read that little handout, and I apologize for the sloppiness, it was done very quickly. I had a short period of time to get my paperwork in. But I have several degrees. I have an undergraduate degree from Milligan, I have 2 masters from ETSU, and I have a PhD from Virginia Tech. You may be thinking, she's crazy. And that's partially true. I will agree with you. But I love learning. I love going to school. I like the challenges. Now, my degrees are all in humanities, so I don't know how applicable they're going to be on the Carter County Commission. But I will tell you that those degrees prove to you that I can work hard and I can complete a task. 4th reason, I like and respect Ginger Holdren and Bob Acom. And when they asked me to do this, I wanted to say yes. I also like and respect Lisa Childress, and I felt like I could work with her well in my district. I'd like to say that in 6 months from now, I will say that I like and respect all of you. I don't know. And 5thly, yes, I do want to make a difference. I have only lived in Carter County since August of 2021. I moved here from Unicoi County. And so I don't know everything about Carter County. I don't even know along the street. I grew up in Unicoi County. You just go the road behind high school. That's just, I don't know what it's called. I don't know everything about this commission. I don't know what you were just talking about, even though I've sat in meetings before. I will need a lot of help. That's plain and simple. But I am willing to learn. I am, in a way, an outsider, having come all the way from Unicoi County. But I have a lot of unique perspective. As someone who loves the outdoors, I've spent lots and lots of time on the Tweetsie Trail and the AT. When I was in Unicoi County, I worked on a committee, on a grant committee with the state of Tennessee to extend our biking and hiking trails. I know that world. I know the world of grants because I spent 37 years in education. I know that world. I also spent time on the planning commission in Unicoi. So I know a little bit about land and property and law. I went to some of the courses. So I have a little bit of that background. I can promise you this. I may not know much about this county, and you may need to help me an awful lot. But I can promise you that I love to learn, and I will work hard. Thank you.
Ms. Thomas, I would say you were doing well until you said you liked and respected me. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to cease nominations and elect by acclamation. Who was the second earlier? You accept that really change? Okay, is there any discussion by anyone? Avery. Okay, if there's no questions, as soon as the clerk's office is ready, we'll be voting on this matter.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Sorry, that's a yes for me also.
Here, I'll do it for you. Just for the record, it was Dr. Acuff that made the original motion. I just made the friendly amendment that he accepted now, but.
Thank you for that clarification. And Ms. Thomas, you may see on the screen that we voted 18-0 in your favor. Welcome to the Carver County Commission. Can she be sworn in this evening, Ms. Gooch? Okay, we are going to take a break right now. And Ms. Thomas, if you would like to do the swearing in this evening, Mary Gooch, our clerk will take care of that. Yes, let's do it right now. Okay, and then we'll take our break. If that means that you have to come out here and sit with us, and spend the night with us. Okay, come on now.
You have to buy the first round too.
I think we're scheduled. So we're not in recess just yet.
raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Tennessee? You will faithfully and honestly discharge the duties of the office of Commissioner to the best of your skills and ability. You will faithfully demean yourself as such in the duties of this office, which you assume. So help you God.
I do.
Mr. Thomas, if you would like to get a better picture, come on over.
That's all right.
Sure. Okay.
You could
Right here.
It's gonna be a long 2 years.
Congratulations.
God have mercy on your soul.
All right, so we're on a 10-minute break. And Charlene, you'll be sitting right beside Miss Lisa Childers when we come back.
Cheers.
This is my first meeting, so I'm like,
Today is Steve Burton's birthday. So I believe Bradley Johnson is going to lead us in the birthday song.
Are you gonna dance like Mr. Von
I know it, I have to be nice now, but Mr. Behaviors.
We have to show gratitude toward the Lord of the land. If you are not aware, Commissioner Burris, today is his birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
And you showed up?
So when you're the king of the landfill,
You're not.
the Lord of the landfill, you've got to pay homage. Because we got the real
I
deal.
can tell him nobody would.
Good profit.
Not getting a call for his birthday.
What are we supposed to do? Shower him with trash?
Here, you want an M&M?
I'm not being profit, but I think saying happy birthday would be appropriate, Madam Chair, if you.
How old are you?
Yes.
Wait, Madam Chair, recording is going, is it not?
It is going, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it is going.
Tickets will go high today. On the game.
Sing.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
There's no better place to spend your birthday, is there, Stevie? Oh, he's ready. I'm looking for you, Dr. Acuff.
I'm right.
Okay, the floor is yours, sir.
Can't see you, but I guess you're ready. We just have a few items coming from budget tonight, so we'll move through them quickly unless there is discussion. First one, 15A1, I'll make the motion to approve a $1,000 raise for Shannon Winters for completing the Tennessee Emergency Management Basic Academy with a budget amendment that will follow at a later date. This is a 3-week course. Shannon went down and took it 120 hours worth. And you know, it's been our ongoing procedures that once we have staff members to complete courses, they should be not only recognized, but they do get a $1,000 increase for taking and passing that course and getting the certificate. Any questions?
So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my screen. I see. All right, so Dr. Acuff made the motion and seconded by Julie Quinn. If there are no questions, let's vote.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Charlie Thomas. Yes.
Thank you. Second item on tonight's, coming from the Budget Committee. I'll make the motion to reimburse Keep America Beautiful for membership dues of $315.50 to be paid from the Carter County Commission budget with the request that this be a part of the annual request going forward on Keep America Beautiful. Keep Carter. Just by explanation, since Commissioner Odom has already seconded. We have paid for this for the last like 3 or 4 years. $275 and now has jumped to $350. And it's indicated that comes out of the commission budget, but we will ask Carter County portion of Keep America Beautiful to include that in their budget request going forward.
Okay, so this motion has been seconded by Angie Odom. there any questions? Okay, please vote.
Will Campbell,
Yes.
Charlie Thomas,
Yes. We're ready for number 3, sir.
Okay. Mayor's not here this evening, but we do have a grant for a total of $780,780 to extend and complete the Walls Road water line extension project. County match of that portion is $156,156. And the remaining $75,000 to make that match will come from ARP funds. And therefore, I'll make that motion to approve that resolution to authorize payment.
Okay, motion is seconded by Aaron Frazier. Questions? Let's vote.
Will Campbell,
Yes.
Charlie Thomas,
Yes. Collins, yes.
Hammer Kelly.
Good night, sir.
Thank you. Move to item 4. I'll make the motion to use the remaining funds from the 3-Star grant that was used to inquire about a site for a hotel motel some study. That amount that was left over was $35,000, and we'll be contracting with the same firm that provided the first service, HVS, to do a hotel developer search.
All right, please vote.
Will Campbell,
Yes.
Charlie Thomas,
Yes.
It must be this corner.
Smith,
We'll say yes at the moment.
Okay, we'll move on to amendments. Item number 5 is Carter County General Fund 101. There are 3 items in that budget amendment. Item number 1 is to reallocate funds within the trustees' current budget for hardware, software maintenance in the amount of $15,100. Item number 2 is to reallocate funds within planning's current budget for Carter Communications fee, Printer Inc., in the amount of $1,370.00. And item number 3 is to approve funds from the Sheriff's Excess Board Reserve Fund to purchase 5 vehicles and flock. That's in the amount of $245,000, no cents. And the total amount is $261,470. And coming from reserve funds, $245,000 of that $261,000.
All right, motion has been seconded by Aaron Frazier. Any questions or comments? Okay, please vote.
Will Campbell,
Yes.
Charlie Thomas,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 6. I'll make the motion to approve Solid Waste Fund 116, budget amendment number 1. One item in that budget amendment is to reallocate funds within solid waste current budget to cover rental expense in the amount of $2,400. Nothing coming from reserve funds or the unassigned fund balance.
Okay, we have a second from Commissioner Deal. Any questions? Or are you Commissioner Gann?
Neither one, I'll actually.
Okay, let's vote.
Billy Campbell,
Yes.
Darlene Thomas,
Yes.
Yes, it did, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So let's move to the Highway Fund 131. Budget amendment number 1. 2 items in that budget amendment. I'll make a motion that we approve this. Item number 1, TRNT insurance recovery check number 243361 to repair a damaged trailer for the Highway Department in the amount of $1,403.99. Item number 2 is video camera recording system, which was struck by lightning. This has been turned into the insurance company, but unclear if it is covered. This comes to a total budget amendment of $4,898.99. Nothing from reserve funds and nothing from the unassigned fund balance.
So that was seconded by Todd Smith. Seeing no request to speak, let's vote.
Billy Campbell,
Yes.
Darlene Thomas,
Yes.
Unanimous, thank you. So we'll move to the General Purpose School Fund 141, which is item number 8. Budget amendment number 1, there's one item. That is to reclassify revenue to meet the 2024-25 maintenance of effort of the Tennessee Department of Education. That's in the amount of $11,000. Nothing from reserve funds, nothing from unassigned fund balance.
Seconded by Aaron Frazier. Let's vote.
Billy Campbell,
Yes.
Darlene Thomas,
Yes.
Thank you. It's unanimous. Let's move to number 9. I'll certainly make the motion to approve the animal shelter monetary donations in the amount of $6,150.00. That's for July 2024 donations.
Seconded by Julie Quinn. Let's vote.
Billy Campbell,
Yes.
Darlene Thomas,
Yes.
That is unanimous. Coming from budget. Non-monetary donations, which totals $150, and that's for July 2024.
Seconded by. Let's vote.
Darlene Thomas,
Unanimous. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I return the floor to you.
And I'm going to give it over to Bradley Johnson.
Oh, gee whiz.
What to be learned tonight is I don't think we need to consider going on the road as a choral club. If somebody had, don't look at me like that, FD.
Happy birthday.
Financial, coming from the financial committee, the first thing before I go into the motions, number 1, is a little bit of background information I want to relay to you that's went through committee.
one of the most important things with our employees and with our county is there is nobody, we are not second to nobody with our benefits in this region. You're all aware of it, and its cost. For your general information, this commission has been over backwards. They have worked hard. They have come up with some great ideas for these benefits. And as we know in the world today, insurance continues to go up. Right now, the nation is more or less encapsulated by the pharmaceutical industry. It is so much so, if you'll notice in your present day address by our presidential candidates and vice president candidates, that they're coming up with ideas on how to reduce them, and that's one of their objectives, which would be great. But the items that I'm going to bring up on the motion to start with is only just the tip of the iceberg. The insurance and benefits of our employees in our county is monthly reviewed and monthly discussed in the financial management, because it's very important, because it's a high dollar source expenditure out of our revenue. But with that, you keep in mind, we have to, there are certain parts that we as employees and officials, department heads, have to make sure that they do within the county, because if we don't, it just contributes to our prices going up. For the first one, and I'll call your attention to, which is to be discussed further in financial management and come up with recommendations to come before this full body. To tell you up front, some of the basic benefits is, one, our county pays 90% of our employees' insurance. Now, all we request is that you go and have an examination annually with your primary physician. And what that does, and it has been proven fact, is they have detected and have found that items in the exam that would preclude you going into a major claim. Your claims is what drives the bigger part of it. But if you realize there's not 40% of our employees abides by that. So now when our broker goes out to Aetna and Travelers and Blue Cross and Blue Shields, these statistics goes before them. And they see that we are not upholding our part. That's why our premiums have went up. Now, this commission put into play the fact that we would pay for their whole day off to go to the private physician. The insurance will cover it 100%. It does not cost them a red dime at all. So we are having to look at our policies again and our procedures and coming up with recommendations to the full body here and to our employees of items that we're going to have to take corrective items to where we can keep the cost of our insurance down. If you don't do it, then we're going to have to cut benefits. We don't have no alternative, either that or raise taxation on the public, because we can't stand an increase like we've been given. So with that being said, I'm going to place into motion to set up a mandatory employee meeting with One Digital, which was AKA Sequoia Insurance Group, or their contracted providers, to discuss insurance plans and benefits with all employees while on the clock. Now, just to elaborate a little bit on that part there, we have found out through questioning interviews that there are department heads, our directors, that would not allow their employees to leave their space to meet with our insurance people. It's very critical. There's a lot, we have found there's a lot that really don't know all the benefits on their insurance they're paying. Or even if they knew exactly how to utilize it. We do not have an HR in this county. So that means that there is a part of liability that we have to share when we have complications and problems with our insurance. We have our financial director and our deputy directors, and them have some experience in it. They're not HR people. So
That means all the questions asked goes to the insurance broker. And we're wiring them completely out. And you have instances where our attorney has to be involved in. So with that motion, that sets it down at once a year, that the broker or the insurance representatives will be here. They will be scheduled put out. They will be in contact with the office holders and the directors and the head of the departments to where they will allow their employees to leave on their scheduled time and talk to the insurance people. This is not anything that takes an hour. On the farms, unless you've got a great difficulty, it'll only take you 30 minutes. But we have to have it. Okay, either that or we're gonna have problems budget-wise. Once again, I'll read the motion to set up mandatory employee meetings with One Digital or other contracted providers to discuss insurance plans and benefits with all the employees while on the clock.
Motion is seconded by Aaron Frazier. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, let's vote.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Charlie Thomas,
Yes.
Unanimous, thank you. Number two, motion to approve the AmeriGas state propane contract. This contract, the funds of it is in this fiscal year 24-25's budget. Contract has been reviewed by our county attorney. Before review for approval.
Seconded by Julie Glenn. Any questions? Let's vote.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Charlie Thomas,
Yes.
Unanimous, thank you. Item number three, a motion to approve the juvenile detention center contract, which is a monthly rate of $10,664. Annual contract's $125,460. This is in our 24-25 budget and fully funded. Has been reviewed by our county attorney.
Seconded by Jerry Prophet. And I'll just add, since Mayor Whippy's not here, that the local mayors are really gonna look at this before it comes up for renewal next year. It may change quite a bit, but that's in the works.
I thought this was a 3-year contract.
It is.
This is a 3-year, so it won't come up for a couple of years.
Okay.
The review, I may add, the review, what you mentioned, it was a review. What we received as committee members and then the financial manager, it looked like something they had to trim on 6th grade road. I mean, it was highlighted, it was cut and pieced together. It was unbelievable, particularly when you look at the board of that organization or all the mayors of our present counties that it serves. And you look at that and you think, my gosh, I might have to do anything like that to even get into public. And you had to be taken back and rewritten.
Okay. We have a second from Jerry Prophet. Are there any questions? Let's vote.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Charlie Thomas,
Yes.
Pass, thank you. Number four, motion to approve the finance postal meter leasing contract, which is the amount of $14,590. And it is in our 24-25 budget and has been forwarded from our attorney.
Seconded by Aaron Frazier. Let's vote.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Charlie Thomas,
Yes.
Thank you for your vote. Number six, placing the motion to approve the disposal of surplus property
for the animal shelter dated July the 15th, 2024, and August 5 of 2024. This list of furniture, as you know, is in your packet.
Gwen, do you have the animal shelter next, or do you have the trustee's office?
I have the trustee's office.
Can we change that, sir? Can we change to the trustee's office, which is number 5 to the animal shelter?
Skip 5.
6 is the animal shelter.
Okay. Does that work? I skip that?
Yes.
I'm gaveling. Gaveling.
Man. Well, it's time to go.
He's very confused.
I just put it on the motion. I'll go back up to 5. You don't have to change the whole dang world.
You got typed in there.
We wouldn't care.
All right, I'll retract it then. Number 5, motion to approve disposal of surplus property for the trustee's office dated June 12, 2024.
So, everyone, would you like to second that? All right, any discussion? Let's vote.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Charlene Thomas,
Yes.
Unanimous, thank you. Now let's get to number 6. Motion to approve the disposal of surplus property for the animal shelter dated July 15, 2024 and August 5, 2024.
Seconded by Danny Beal. Let's vote.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Charlene Thomas,
Yes.
Unanimous vote, thank you very much. Item number 7, motion to approve the disposal of surplus property for the mayor's office dated July 22nd, 2024.
Motion seconded by Aaron Frazier. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
Willie Campbell,
Yes.
Charlene Thomas,
Yes.
Unanimous, thank you. The last motion is number 8. Motion to move remaining funds from Fund 101, 116, 131, lines 200 through 299 to be rolled over into an insurance reserve.
Seconded by Danny Beal. I need more discussion on that. Jerry Prophet, would you like to speak?
I didn't push that button.
It's rough when you sit beside, isn't it? Okay,
He
let's
was
vote.
nervous. He's a nervous wreck, that's why.
Willie Campbell, Charlene Thomas,
Yes.
Unanimous, thank you very much, Manager.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. That was hard.
Okay, as usual, I'll just tell you my written report will be in the minutes as they are every month. As far as litigation goes, still litter violation cases, we're still hearings this month. There's motions for contempt in court all this month in Chancery Court, there'll be more next month. There was one new lawsuit filed this month in Federal District Court in Greenville from an inmate, and that is in the very early stages, just filed this past month. So, and I'll be happy to talk to any of y'all individually about that if it becomes necessary. But right now, it's in the insurance carrier's hands. Other than that, unless y'all have any questions,
If there's no questions for the attorney, it's your turn to speak if you have any comments, commissioners. Todd Smith, you have the floor.
At the risk of being stoned, I'm going to bring something up that this will be the third time we've brought it up. And it's a question for our county attorney. What exactly is the point of having a nominating committee?
To appoint folks to boards and committees from the public or quasi-governmental boards, things that we appoint folks other than county commissioners to, and that's generally the point. But when it comes to constitutional positions like a county commissioner, when those vacancies are created, the full board has to appoint it by state law. Nobody has to turn in a piece of paper, an application of any kind. They can show up here, be nominated and elected from the floor. In fact, they don't even have to show up. Someone can be nominated and elected with a note that says they're willing to serve. So that's state law. Can't change that. So we can't require people to fill those positions to come through nominating or be vetted or submit materials. They can, and that can weigh in your decision if that's the way you choose to vote. We just cannot require people to come through that committee. So it does serve a purpose. All the committees serve a purpose. I can't say that it's something that's required or viable, but there's times when that committee does serve a purpose.
Would I be out of order to ask that we have some sort of job description and exactly what we do have the power to vote on and what we do not have the power to vote on in the future? Like I said, I know this is the third time this has been brought up in the 2 years I've been here. And it's always the same thing. We talk about it, nothing's ever done about it.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's an optional committee. It's just created by this commission. It's not a required committee by any law. I do have, or you all should have the summary I put together of every committee and what their function is. And I mean, I'm not saying that's a beautiful document or anything that you want to frame, but it is what it is. That's the basic function of the committee. So that's the best I can do unless y'all decide to take action and do something to change that committee or do away with it. The responsibilities are governed by this commission. That's who sets out the responsibilities of that committee.
Thank you.
Aaron Fraser has the floor.
Attorney Harden, would it be advisable for us to look into something like a dark sky ordinance that was put into effect in Nashville, where we would have potentially some control over what lights go out into residences within the county?
That's completely up to you. I have no knowledge of that, to be honest with you. I heard it here tonight. I think I understand the basic concept. I don't know how far the authority would go. Of course, we don't have any control over the Elizabeth electric system, but if there were regulations put into effect, that the county monitored, maybe there's a mechanism there to enforce that. I have no idea just off the top of my head, but that's certainly up to you all. Start that, research it, put it through a committee. I'll look into it if that's what I'm asked to do. It sounded like from the gentleman here tonight, no other county in Tennessee has adopted it, so that would be pretty cutting edge, but I'm happy to help.
Well, I mean, in my lifetime, I remember being able to see stars, and I can now. Even all the way out in the middle of nowhere in Peters Hollow, you see very few stars. But I remember being able to see Halley's Comet, Milky Way, everything like that, and it's just slowly eroded over time. So
I don't disagree with you. I mean, like I said, I would have to research it to even know what ability we have in the county to regulate things like that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if the city of Nashville can do it, that would give us a pretty good estimation that we should be able to do at least something similar, considering we're a larger type of government organization.
Sure. I think we can see Nashville from here, so I don't know how in the heck it works in Nashville. Maybe they do.
Basically what it states is that it puts a maximum color temperature at 3,000 as opposed to fluorescent white or blue lights. So in here, it states that it affects private street lights, construction and major renovations of commercial and multifamily homes. And it includes stuff for what's called light trespass, which I don't think we need to go down. But if we had some sort of guideline to go by that we could provide to the electric system that states this is more what it's supposed to be, because in Nashville, it includes like direct spotlights. They don't have to all be changed at once, but like the lights at Mr. Winchester, I suppose a broken clock is right twice a day. But with what that states in being spotlights rather than just cascade I can't think of the word for it, but distributed light, maybe something we want to look at. So I put in form of a motion to instruct Attorney Harden to review the dark sky ordinance out of Nashville and potentially adapt it to something that would increase, or in this case, decrease the amount of lighting that would be installed in various places around the county.
Okay, we have a second from Avery Nguyen. So we do have a motion on the floor. It's open for discussion. We are waiting on the clerk to get it typed in.
Yes. Motion that we instruct Attorney Harden to review and investigate the dark sky ordinance with the direction of possibly implementing I'm sorry. We instruct Attorney Harden to review the dark sky ordinance implemented in Nashville to potentially reduce light pollution by streetlights managed by Elizabethton Electric within the county.
Avery Nguyen, yeah, was a second. Okay, Commission, any questions?
Yes, I have one. Are we gonna end up in the same situation with this as we did when we were talking about the nuisance ordinance? Is this a situation where the municipalities have power that the counties do not?
It could be, I mean, just off the, like I said, I have no knowledge of it, but just from kind of a common sense perspective, I think Metro Nashville has more control over their electric system than Carter County would have over the Elizabeth electric system, who services, rural parts of the county. I don't know that. But again, like any new ordinance or regulation or resolution, enforcement is the problem, right? It's easy to make rules, but it costs money to enforce rules. And so that's the problem we often run into.
I just want to comment on what the man presented tonight, because I have the big light from the electric company. So I was just going to say, we could also still reach out to the electric company. I know we don't have a say with them, but maybe if what was presented tonight and then with what we are experiencing too, because we just got ours replaced and my mom lives next door. And I thought it would help, but I think she's more blinded and about to fall over herself with the light. And it has made our neighbor's house light up like a big UFO. It doesn't come out onto our property as much. So it is a little different of how this light projects down, but there isn't any options, is what I was told, that they're all going to be LEDs. So maybe before, I'm not, look into whatever y'all decide, but I'm saying, maybe we could address and talk to the Elizabeth Electric just to see if there's any options there.
Vice Chair Collins?
I think everyone needs to go by the evening breeze when the lights are on to really understand this. I'll just leave it at that. What's called evening breeze. Arena, yes. You might go by there and it'll explain more what he was talking about. But you need to go at nighttime when it's dark. Really dark.
Just an observation.
It's not really dark.
The previous commission, it was the back row. This commission is the second row.
Damn, right there.
The middle is the second row.
I know.
Avery, you have the floor.
Talking with the gentleman, Mr. Winchester, I want to understand that is in the county. I know Elizabeth Electric has the power go up there. That is in the county. We as a county should be able to do something with noise. Situation like that where it's literally shining in the houses.
It's like,
Madam Chair, I'd just like to remind all of my commissioners, you have the right on your property. That light can go out when you think about it. If it's shining in my house and I don't want it, I shoot birds quite a bit. Do that or not, but I'm just saying. Let them right along. I mean, it's about as broad as it is about the noise nuisance. I mean, you know, them too.
Okay, Andy Gill.
I just want to say, I was up there, I went to his house, and it was at night. The lights are bright. I mean, all the new lighting they're coming out with now is, you know, less voltage, more lumens, but I see a potential problem if those lights were put throughout the county. You get naked.
And just imagine inside the city on top of that. I mean, it's gonna be crazy. I mean, imagine what G Street, you're trying to drive down G Street. You won't even know if your headlights are on. It's hard to tell now.
Do they burn them lights all the time out there?
No.
Is there a rodeo or something?
Christmas. No, it burns all the time. They have equipment out there. They use it for security.
So Commissioner Neal, would you like to speak again?
Two for one.
Commissioner, are you ready to vote? I'm sorry, Kim.
I just want to say, I've lived there since 96, right across from the arena there. The lights has been in since 97. They don't bother me. But
These
I'm
lights have
from
not
Colorado.
been since 97.
It'll be the 8 o'clock.
These are new lights.
There's no way these have been in that
Yeah,
long.
these
These
are-
lights has been in since 97.
No, they have not.
Those are new.
Okay, we're moving on.
Let's do it.
Let's vote.
Campbell,
Dark sky. Looking into the dark sky.
This motion is just to instruct our attorney to please look into this matter.
Research.
Charlene Thomas,
Yes.
So the motion passes with 18 yes, 1 no. Jerry Stout, would you like to speak now?
I just have a comment.
Okay, sir.
In one of our subcommittees earlier in the month, we had a discussion about noise in the county, and a citizen came forward asking for a noise ordinance. We had a lot of discussion about that. I'd just like to commend the sheriff and Chief Johnson for being proactive. They went out there the next day and talked to the appropriate people, got it resolved. Problem basically went away. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate their proactive response to that.
Thank you, ma'am. We have not. Okay. Would any other commissioner like to speak? I have a couple of announcements, but I'm waiting on you. Anybody else? Okay, yes, Ms. Quinn.
Just real quick, I just said something to you. Not too long ago, one of my lights burned out, and I'm actually, the next to the last on the Elizabeth Electric's system as you go toward Hennepin. And they gave me an option, what kind I wanted to replace it with. That was asked to me, and I chose a kind of an amber looking lower bid series. So I don't know if they still offer that. I don't know if even Bruce chose something brighter. But it's not been that long, they did offer me an option on what one to get. So I thought,
Got a gun for ours.
Okay, so, I just wanted, I'm sorry, Willie, go ahead.
You know, they came and installed one at my house. It is brighter than the other one. But, it's, the one he showed here, I'd never seen before. The one they put in mine, it shines, it shines out, but it doesn't shine direct toward anything else. So I don't know where he got the ones he had there. The cost of this went from, the one I had on there was $30. I was paying $30 a month. The cost went to $7. That's the reason most people snapping on it. TVA is pushing this thing too.
Bingo, get that man a cigar.
Okay, am I missing anybody else? All right, so the landfill committee is conducting interviews this Thursday. Somebody help me, what time are we starting? 4 o'clock. So of course, the landfill committee, will be involved in that discussion, but everybody's welcome to attend those interviews. They are public. Be thinking about the committees that you want to serve on as we go into our next year. You may change standing committees, in September at the full commission meeting. So everybody's still serving on their current standing committees. If you meet early in September, those don't change until mid to late September. But be thinking about that. Yes, Steve?
The September 2nd meeting that's in the calendar,
Yes.
we will decide sometime during that interview meeting when everybody's here, because half our people's not here. We're gonna change the date on that since it's on Labor Day.
Okay, so everybody stay posted. September 2nd is Labor Day, so those committees will not meet.
Right.
He's saying that we'll make a decision this Thursday, when that will change to.
Yes.
And Mary Bucher, our county clerk, wants everyone to know that August 30th at 12:30 will be the local swearing in of elected officials. So if anybody wants to attend right here in this courtroom, August 30th at 12:30. Anybody else have anything?
I didn't understand what you said at first.
The locally elected officials will be sworn in on August 30th at 12:30.
Several school board members.
The floor is wide open.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Imagine that.
We have a motion to adjourn and a second. Everybody in favor, everybody leave.
Second.
They just need to put your name there.
Who was the second? Was it really?
Have a picture there.